Welcome to Java JSON, and in this video we are going to talk about abstract factory design pattern. It's a very important for the abstractions layers, okay? But if I say that you have already know about factory design patterns, so top of that we are providing one more abstractions that is called abstract factory design pattern. Okay, so it's a very simple. If you know the factory design pattern, easily you can implement it, but if you don't know the factory design pattern, you can't able to implement abstract factory design pattern. Okay, so first go and learn and understood the previous video, which is factory design pattern, and then you can come to the abstract factory design pattern. Okay, so it's a similar to the abstract factory design pattern only, but let's see what is the differences. We can write a code level and what are the differences in the architecture levels also. Okay, so abstract factory patterns say that just define a interface or abstract class. So it may be the abstract or it may be the abstract class we can write for creating a family. Okay, for creating a families of the related or dependent object, but without specifying their concrete subclasses. That means abstract factory let us class returns a factory of the classes. Okay, so whatever the abstract factory implemented classes we have, they only return the factory of the classes. Okay, so first we can implement the factory, and in top of that we can write a abstract also. So this is the region that abstract factory pattern is one level higher than the factory pattern. So I already clarify you. You have to understand the factory design pattern before coming to the abstract factory design pattern. Okay, the advantage is like abstract factory pattern isolates the client code from the concrete implementations class. It eases the exchanging of the object families, and it promotes the consistency among the object. Okay, so this is the basic definitions you can understood, and this is the advantage. The pattern is particularly useful when the client does not know exactly what type of the object we are creating and how we are creating the object. Okay, the main difference between the factory method and abstract factory is that factory method is a single method and abstract factory is an object method, you can say. Okay, so this is the use and when we can use it. So when the system must be independent in terms of how its objects are created, composed and represented. When you want to provide an object library that does not show the implementation expose interface, then it's a super duper way to create an abstract factory design patterns. Okay, let's see how we can implement it. So basically this is the client, the people who want to call, those are client we can say. And factory, it's a very normal like a factory design pattern. So we can create a factory, and after the factory we have to create one abstractions layer. So this is the part of the abstractions. Okay, and remaining as it is, whatever we are doing, like it's a part of the actual implementations related with the factory design pattern. So if you capture this part that will become what? Factory design pattern. But if you include this part also, okay, these three classes, abstract factory, notification factory, WhatsApp factory, then we can say that this is the part of the abstractions factory. Okay, abstraction factory design pattern. But exclude these three, you can say that is the what? Factory design pattern. That's it only. So these abstractions we have to provide. So let's write a code. So first what we can do is we can provide a implementations of this one. We can create a notification, SMS notification, email notifications. Corresponding, if you want, you can create a WhatsApp factory, and in the WhatsApp factory we can create a WhatsApp, and in the WhatsApp whatever the implement classes we required we can do it. Okay, so this is the architecture look like. Okay, let me go to the Eclipse and let's write a code so that you can understand in a better way. Okay, so this is the client, which is the test method. So let's write here main. That's it. I don't require to write as of now anything here. Okay, that's it. Yeah. But now I'm going to implement our notifications. So because you already know the notifications, how we have designed in the factory, in the same way I'm going to write here also. So I have to create one interface, okay, which is abstract. So let me write here, the name is called notification. Okay, and this should be what? It should be a interface. So let me write interface. Okay, and this interface will provide me what? Send notifications. Okay, so as usual previously also we have write a code for that. So this having a one method called public void, okay, send notification. Okay, send notifications, and this method will take 2 or 3 parameters. Okay, whatever based on your requirement. So previously we have taken like we have a one list, and inside the list people will send list of the user or maybe the list of the user ID, okay, or email you can say, and this is the users I can say, and then after we can write here what message. So message should be a string. Okay, message. So I have created one interface, so I have not provided the implementations of that. Okay, and this is the abstract, so I don't want to write public. Okay, got it right? Now I have to provide the implementations of this notification classes, so I will create 2 or 3 more classes based on our requirement we can create, but let me create only one classes, which is notification. Okay, and SMS notification, SMS notification, and SMS notification will implement our interface called notification, right? And once it will implement it, okay, we can set the notifications, right? So what we can write a code here for, and we can read each and every user, so maybe a string users and users, right? We can iterate it and we can write s out, or in double quote send SMS, right? Send SMS to whom? User. So who is the user? So I will write here username plus, again I will give the space, and then I will write the message. So whatever the message we have provided, based on this message it will print it. I want these implementations in some other notification also, but let it be one only. Let it be one only, because if I make too much, then you might be get confusions. Okay, so let it be. Okay, so this is the one things I have created notifications, or notifications implemented classes is SMS notifications, and now I have to create one factory. Okay, so let me create one factory. So what is the factory? So factory is normal factory log like notification factory, notification factory. And what notification factory will do? This is one classes, and this class is having a one method called notification. So we can write like create object for notification, otherwise we can write public. Public, it will return one notification object, right? And create notification, notification, create notification, and in the parameter it will take one abstractions. So now I am going to create those abstractions classes here. Okay, so let me create one more classes. The class name is called notification abstract factory. Notification abstract, ABSTRACT, notification abstract factory. Okay, or this is right now class, but I don't want class, I can make it abstract class, otherwise we can make it interface also, that is good enough. Okay, and inside these classes I have to create an object. Okay, so in this having a one method called notification, okay, which is going to return notifications, and notifications it will return, and the method name is called create notification object, and this object will what will take, it will take nothing as of now. Okay, and these implementations have to provide the subclasses. Okay, so let me write public notification, create notifications. He's saying like add abstract. Yeah, that is by default. Okay, we have to put it abstract here. So this method is abstract, and it will return one what? Notifications. Okay, notification. But if you want any parameters here, you can ask the parameters. Okay, which type of the notification do you want? Maybe we have a SMS notifications, we have a email notifications, like that. Okay, so let me create those also so that you can understand better way. Okay, so I'm going to create one more class here. Okay, email notification, email notifications, and email notifications having a same thing. It will also implement notifications. Okay, and inside this we are going to provide send email. Okay, got it? But the problem is we have a factory, and corresponding factory, this will take one type. Okay, this factory will take one type, which is a string type. Okay, a string type, and this will decide which object we have to create, right? So that is also possible. But if you don't want anything, you can call directly also, no issue. Okay, so here you don't want to also type here also. Okay, so what we can do is we can implement this abstract classes in some of the notifications. Okay, so let it be implement some of the classes. So let me create some of the abstract factory. So I will create SMS factory. Okay, SMS factory, and SMS factory will implement, okay, notifications. What is the class name? Notification abstract. Let me put the class name directly. So not implement, we have to write the extend, because class. So class will not implement, it will extend. Okay, extend abstract. Let me put directly. So it will provide one unimplemented method. So what we can do here we can directly return what? Here we can directly return which notifications factory you want. So here we have to return new SMS notifications. Okay, because this is the SMS notifications factory only. Okay, if you want to create email notifications factory, so you can return here one more factory class. Okay, which is going to return what we called email factory. So right click on that, otherwise go to our package and write class, enter, and give the class name called email factory. And inside the email factory we can extend abstract factory, provide the implementations of the methods. Remove this one. Here you can return new email notification, email notifications object. Okay, and email notification object, and it's a implementation of the notification, so it will return this one. Okay, let me go to the factory finally, and inside the factory here we can take one object which is notifications factory. Okay, and we can give the name called abstract factory, and this will take one object. Okay, this factory classes, this method, and then after make this method as a statics. Okay, and what it will do is it will call the create notification. So write abstract factory dot create notifications, and once you call this create notifications, it will give one object, and those object we can return it. Okay, return. So once you return this object, what will happen? I will explain you one by one, no issue. Okay, so let me go to the client, and one by one we can test it so that you can understand it in a better way. So this is my client, right? And in this client I'm going to call one method called notifications factory. So I have a notifications factory. Okay, notification factory is a class, and this factory having a method called create notifications, and create notifications will take notification abstract factory. Okay, notification abstract factory implemented class. So I will give here new SMS factory, and those factory will give me one object which is notifications. Okay, notification, and once I got the notification object, I can call easily any of the methods. Okay, so what we can do, we can write notifications. Okay, dot, what we can write, send notifications, and while sending a notifications we have to pass what, list of user ID. So this is the list dot, I will write of, and inside this we can write Raju. Okay, let me give one more name, Sonu. Let me give one more name, Ajay. So this is the three names I have given, and here I will write message. Which message I have to send? How are you, bro? How are you, team? Okay, so once I send this message, if you see here, once I send this message, let me maximize it. Once I send this message, okay, once I send this message, you can see the output. We can see the output, send SMS to Raju, Sonu, Ajay, how are you team, how are you team, how are you team, right? So how it's working basically. So if you talk about how it's working, so here if you see, we have a notification factory. From the notification factory we have a method called create notifications. Through the create notification we are sending one factory implemented classes, which is abstract factory implemented classes. So let me open the create notifications factory. So in the create notifications factory, if you open it, here we can see abstract factory. Okay, he want. So we are not sending the abstract factory because we can't create an object for that. So implemented classes object we are sending here. Okay, so once you call the implemented classes object, if you send here, what will happen? It will come here, and through that it will call create notifications. So corresponding notifications object will call, maybe it's a SMS or email. So in our case we have called the create notifications, which is SMS. So this method will return me one SMS notifications, which is the subclass of the notifications. I have explained you previously also, notifications. And once it will return this method, we can go back. So our object will come here, and those object we are returning again back. So those object will come here, and those through that object we are calling this notification. So maybe that is the email SMS notifications. So it will call this method, and it will go to here, and here having implemented classes with the SMS notifications. So those SMS notification method will call, and it will call whatever the user ID you have given or email you have provided. That's it. Okay, so I hope you understood. If you want to call email notifications, nothing, you just have to change here factory object. So what we have to do here, we have to write new email factory. So we can write here email factory, and just if you run it again, it will internally call the email factory. If you see here, send email to Raju, Sonu, Ajay, how are you team, how are you team. Okay, so internally it's calling to the those. So I hope you understood, guys, because I have explained the way. So basically what I have done is, we have a client is nothing but main method, and we have a separate implementations of this notification. Okay, notification is interface having a implemented class, SMS notification, email notifications. If you want to add one more abstractions, WhatsApp app factory, you can write it, but I have just explained in the simple way. Like we have a one abstract factory, and in the abstract factory having a two factory, which is notification factory or WhatsApp factory. So notification factory is one of the factory classes. So in the notification place we have created SMS factory or what, email factory here, and those will responsible to send the object of notification implemented classes. and those are sending back to here, here to here, and based on this object we are calling directly to SMS notification or email notifications, and we are printing it. Okay, if you want to see the code once again, I will show you. Okay, so this is our test. Inside the test, if you see, we have a notification factory which is a static method, so directly we have called, no need to create an object. And here we are deciding like which factory object you want. If you want email factory, you can give email factory. If you want SMS factory, you can give SMS factory, and based on this factory we are creating an object. So if you go here, you can see implementations. Okay, so create, and this is the able to take the object because it's a parent of the any of the factory. Okay, and if you go inside this, it will call corresponding email factory or SMS factory, and this will return the object. I hope you guys you understood very well what is the abstract factory design patterns, and we can talk later about some other strategy or design patterns. Okay, thank you so much.